Yes, people, hello and welcome to Red Devils TV. Today we are back with match reaction of Manchester United vs Leicester City 1-2. And I'm going to say this that I think it was an okay performance, not delighted performance. I think it's an okay performance, and the players deserve some credit only. I don't know how much will agree with me on this, but I think they deserve some credit at least because I've got valid points on this, I'm going to fight with anyone who says the opposite thing. Yes, people have opinions. It's okay with that. But I'm okay. But I want to say that these players who played were most from academy, and second of all, those players which are experienced or play at the higher level, who knows how to play in this kind of crunch matches, are lacking match sharpness, and they haven't got enough minutes on the pitch before. So people and you cannot expect anything from Anthony Elanga and Amad Diallo other than putting a decent shift, and I think they put a decent shift. And Anthony Elanga, not Mason Greenwood, and Amad Diallo, Brendan Williams, Tuan Zebe, they played well. They didn't play that much bad. Basically, I think they played well. I think. Brandon Williams was a bit shocking at times, but I think that he needs to go on loan. Not going to lie, I think he needs to go on loan. And that's the problem with this kind of player, that we don't utilize this kind of. He has wasted, that lad has absolutely wasted 1 year of his contract and 1 of his year career, basically, more than his contract. And I think these players are ready for action. I think Amar Diallo is absolutely ready for the first team. Ready for the first team only. And even Matic and Mata, people criticize Matic and Mata, and I also done so. I'm not going to say that I haven't criticized any of them. But we have to give them some criticism. We have to give them some credit and appreciation because of their effort they put in the last match. Because see, they were the most experienced player in the pitch along with David De Gea, and they guided the team very well in the first half. Okay, they were solid in the first half, but somehow they were lackluster in the second half. I just don't know. They were a bit lackluster, and actually the problem with these kind of players is they are willing to work hard. They are willing to do well, but I think the mind is willing, but the body is not supporting. Basically, that's the one thing, and that's why we need to sell. No disrespect or no hate agenda against those players, but I think we need to sell these kind of players. We need to sell them. And I think they have served Manchester United very well. They have been very good servants for the club, and I think now it's time to move on. Now it's time to go in play and some in La Liga or some Serie A, because I think that Matic and Mata, Manchester United want to sell him to Roma because Jose Mourinho will be the current manager of Roma next season. I think he's interested in that in those players. I think we need to sell them. And as for Brandon Williams, I think the fullbacks, if you want to give some criticism to the team, give them to the fullbacks. But I think the fullbacks were horrendous. Both Alex Telles and Brandon Williams. Brandon Williams was much poorer than Alex Telles. Brandon Williams didn't put any crosses. He didn't make any overlaps. He didn't mark properly. His zonal marking was trash actually. And that can be caused by the match sharpness, lack of match sharpness regarding lack the match time and the experience not going to come to. But Alex Telles also had a shocker. Alex Telles also had a shocker because Alex Telles, why was Alex Telles bought in the first place? He was bought due to his attacking prowess because Luke Shaw lacked in attack. He was the master of putting crosses. He could make those overlaps. He could make the through balls. He could put the long balls over the top of the fullbacks. But he didn't do any of it, and that's why Anthony Elanga was a bit angry with him, because I think he shouted after this thing happening for a numerous time. I think when it happened for 2 or 3 times, I think he didn't react. I think it's okay. I will the but when it happened for more than that, when it happened for 5 or 6 times, I think he shouted that I'm making the run, please play me the ball. And this is the problem which I had with Alex Telles. I think Alex Telles is a good player. I think he's a good player. I think he has the potential, but you need to play the ball, man. He's making the run, and he has the intelligence to make the run. Most of the people don't make the run. I think they don't make the run, and the most irritating thing which Alex Telles did was not picking up the run and not crossing the ball. I think he was mostly was passing it backwards to David De Gea or passing it sideways to Tuan Zebe or Matic. I think that needs to be a bit worked on. I think he needs to put on. And I think Mason Greenwood is absolutely fabulous. I think he deserves to be the man of the match. And he has fight with Axel Tuan. Axel Tuan has also been class. I just can't get over that fact that how that fella is not playing over Lindelof. I think he's miles ahead of Lindelof, but still he's trying to play. I think Lindelof. I think he's still trying to play Lindelof over anybody. So that's a big thing. And I think the post-match conference which Ole attended, I think it was bang on. It was spot on, basically. Because I think that most of us are not angry about the result. I think we have the event. What has occurred by that is what upset us the most, because Manchester City has won the title. And it's nothing to be sad about. I think I never felt angry about. Honestly speaking, I was never feeling angry about the result. I think I was a bit sad that Manchester City won another title in 5 years. Another title. I think it was the 5th title in 10 years. I think I think they're slowly continuing to the dominating era which they're getting under Pep Guardiola. I think, and that's we need to stop it. And that's the thing which upset me the most. And Ole said that we need reinforcement. I think that's the thing which is bang on. I think he said that we need reinforcement. We need to strengthen the squad. And he doesn't say this a lot of times. I think it's not that Mourinho or Van Gaal who is just mourning for news and I didn't get this, I didn't get that from the board or it. But I think no, he know that when he didn't go, he knew that he didn't got back in the summer. But he said that he came out and said, I'm happy with the squad. I'm fully backed by the Glazers and Ed Woodward and everybody is supporting me. But now he knows that it's not going to work anymore. The fans know it. You can't trick the fans anymore. And I think he understands that. He simply said that in order to win the title next season or challenge for it, we need signings and we need reinforcements. And I don't know if you guys will agree on with that, and many people can't see this only. I think it's a direct challenge to the Glazers and the motto for the competence. I think if you want me to give you something which I have been waiting for 8 or 9 years, then give me what I want and I will handle you that. Give me a quality centre back, give me a quality centre defensive midfielder, and give me a right wing and I will handle you the Premier League title. And that's what he meant. I think many people can see that, but I think it's clearly visible that he is challenging kind of to the board that prove your competency according to us. Man, I think Solskjaer is he is in power because the fans and the authority and the organizations who support Manchester United like Red Army, Stretford End Army, Manchester United's supporters trust, they don't believe the owners, so they have to spend money. And Ole has delivered something which no manager has delivered since the post-Fergie era. He has given us back-to-back top 4 finishes. I think that's one. And many people are saying, oh, Mourinho did the same thing, what's happy to be about? No, Mourinho did the same thing. He won the Europa League in a separate and he finished second in the separate. When he won the Europa League, he bent the league almost in January only. He knew that he was going to win the league with that squad. He was going to win the Europa League with that squad. So that's why he bent the league and that's why he didn't put enough effort into that. And getting and winning the Europa League and finishing second, it's a big progression after the last season's disappointment. I think it's a big progression. I think we need to build on it. We need to build the squad on. And how can we build the squad on? That's what we are talking about in this video. And this video is not actually it's not a match reaction because there was nothing in the match reaction to say about. Because I watched the whole match. I think I was a bit bored around the match because the match was pretty much dead to some extent. When Leicester scored through a goal by Thomas, that young lad, he was playing really well. And then Mason Greenwood scored after 4 or 5 minutes. The match was pretty dead until the 65th minute, until when Cagliari put his header to the goal and scored the second goal. I think the match was dead. And when Ole decided to make the subs, when Cavani, Rashford and Bruno came, I think that's when the match opened, and that's when we started creating chances, and then we put the pressure on the Leicester defense and put cross after cross, and unfortunately nobody could put a head into it and nobody could score a goal, and that's a sad thing. But seeing the lineup, my reaction was content. I knew that we wouldn't win the match. I think if we got a draw, I think that should have been perceived as a win because we are playing a B team basically. And Leicester, other than Maddison, they put a very strong team basically. I know Johnny Evans has been injured and Ricardo Pereira wasn't there, but that was still a good team. I think that was the first team, majority of the first team starters. I think we need some signings to challenge Manchester City for the title. We need to challenge for the title. And I'm just going to say this thing. I've seen this at a lot of Insta pages only. If you live outside UK, you won't know this because I live outside UK and I didn't know this because I live in India. And I've seen this. I've seen in a lot of pages that people are saying like Trevor Sinclair and another pundits, washed up pundits saying that Manchester United should be deducted points, should be punished, and they should deduct 6 points, 3 points are not enough. And what's the reason? Just because they put 10 changes and literally fucked Liverpool's UCL chance. That's why they're saying. And I'm going to expose them, but I'm going to say this, that sources are talk sport, which is actually talk shit because of the thing which happened a few weeks back between Don Robbie and Ray Parlour, and Don Robbie said it in his personal video that it was absolutely contemplated, pre-played, pre-planned. And every question when Ray Parlour asked to Don Robbie, and then Don Robbie gave the answer, and he counter-attacked it. And every time he counter-attacked it, he saw to his mic and smiled like this. I mean that was pre-planned, and and they knew that they would target the thing because they know, and this is a strategy for the clubs only because of the European Super League, that the mess they created. I think they are not doing it directly, they are doing it indirectly, they have a hand in that. They hire a person like Manchester United hire Nick Ashton, like a PR spin, who is going to make it the PR spin and just going to remove the negativity around the club. They are going to say that we have made 3 kids, we have released 3 kids, we are going to buy this player, that player, we are going to sign Paul Pogba, and this and that, the positive things which go around the club only. So this was that they could get rid of the negativity which are going around, and Manchester United know that their fans are not content with that, what the Glazers are doing, and they know that they have been exposed. Absolutely, they have been exposed. That's why they're coming out like this. But the apology later. So that guys, those who are under the charge of making the PR spin, I think these guys hired these prats like Ray Parlour, Trevor Sinclair, and another Liverpool fan was saying this that Manchester United had a big squad, they could have easily played a strong team. I mean, I get the frustration on the Liverpool fans that people may think that this has been the season. I also think to some extent, but don't blame it on us. Blame it on the Premier League. The Premier League done us badly basically, because the season is already short enough. Instead of 12 months, we are playing it for 8 months, and the 4 months is already cut off, and we are playing 3 games in each week. Either it's a Premier League, Champions League, or a domestic cup. Sometimes it's 2 Premier League games. And so you can't rotate the squad much. And instead of knowing that Premier League put 4 games at 4 Premier Leagues, no, not 4 Premier League, 3 Premier League games in 7 days and on the Europa League match. And I think if we hadn't been a title race, if we had been a title race, I think this would have been much critical. Yes, we know that Man City was eventually going to win the title, and any genuine Manchester United fan would say you that, and including me. My opinion has always revealed that the title race was always over in February. It was always over in February because we lost so many points at home. I think our away form has been absolutely decent, absolutely fine in that regard. But I think we need to improve the home tally, because see, the home tally has been absolutely poor. We lost in the opening match of the Premier League 3-1 to Crystal Palace. Then we lost to 6-1 to Spurs. Then we lost to a poor Arsenal side 1-0, the conceding a dodgy penalty. Then we drew against who's the name? It is Everton 3-3. Then we lost against Sheffield United. We drew against West Brom. Those points absolutely cost us. I think it was 15 to 70 points. And if you add the 15 to 70 points, we would have won the match. And we also finished so many 0-0 draws against a stupid top 6 clubs. We could have made so many chances. We played defensive football. I think that could have introduced a spark only. So that's a big thing. That's a big thing we have to say. That's a big thing we have to say. And getting into what do we need to win the title next season? We need a quality centre back, we need a quality centre defensive midfielder, we need a quality right wing. And you can't buy success. You can't buy success as Man City has done, but you can't get success through bargains. You have to invest in that. And if Manchester United invest less than 150 million, they won't win the title. They won't challenge it for it, because we need a good centre back, we need a good right wing, we need a good centre defensive midfielder. How are you going to get so many signings? It's a big factor. Manchester United getting losses after losses. Many major sponsors have pulled out. So they need to put a statement of intent. Basically, if they don't invest, they know that they are in deep trouble. So if there is only money for a right wing and centre back, then how do we raise money for a centre defensive midfielder? Sell Martial, sell Andres Pereira, sell Lingard, sell Mata Matic, and one of the goalkeepers, preferably Henderson, and you will raise around 100 million. So sell those players, and we can get a good centre defensive midfielder. And if we can get Declan Rice, and which is highly unlikely to, we can show our interest in those under radar signings, like Yves Bissouma, and another player who have been popped up in my eyes basically. In front of my eyes is Manuel Lobatel of Sassuolo. I think that player is the what we call a technical player with a gifted physicality for a centre defensive midfielder. He passes the ball, he has long range, and many people are saying he is just like James Garner. No, James Garner is not like that. James Garner plays in Watford. He is not good for Premier League. He plays in Championship and he is not ready for the Premier League. And if he has to go for loan, and if he doesn't go on loan, he will have the same state as Brandon Williams. It won't help him. It won't help him. Believe me, it won't help him. So I think we need to sign a centre defense and fielder and a right man. And without that, we can't challenge for title. And Ole said it himself that we need to sign players. We need to sign players, and we are not in that Fergie era that we can win the title with a crap team. And I don't expect Ole to do that just because Fergie won the title with Phil Jones and Raphael and Butner and Joe and Chris Smalling doesn't mean that we will do it. Sir Alex Ferguson was the best coach of all time, greatest of all time, and not everybody can do that. No, Solskjaer cannot do that anyway. So I think Manchester City is going to be the team to beat for the next season. I think they are going to be I think if Manchester City cannot, I think if Chelsea cannot stop Manchester City, they will win the league. They will win. I think Liverpool will bounce back because they won't get Champions League football. I think many other players will leave, and many sources saying that most of the players know that this is a classic Jurgen Klopp breakdown basically which they have after years of success, and they won't be able to replace those players because they have got Europa League football, and it's hard to. And I'm not saying that they may not sign any marquee signings, but it's hard to attract players with Europa League football. And yeah, United did it. United spent mad money on Paul Pogba, Zlatan, and that didn't eventually paid off. Not gonna lie. So don't do that. Don't do that. Be creative. And I think what Solskjaer said is that. If you want to create a squad like Manchester City or Chelsea, we need to invest money, and that's bang on. That's spot on. I think that's absolutely spot on. We need to invest money. If we don't invest money, we will end up in another second or third position. We need chance for title, and people say we won't win the title for 3 years. We already closed the gap. We are the second best team in England. We have to be the best team in the world. Not world is a big thing. We have to first win in the country basically. So if we get a centre back and a centre defensive midfielder, I'm okay with it. If we get a right wing and a centre back, I'm not okay with it. We need a centre defensive midfielder. But a right wing would be okay. But as Manchester United is going to go after any marquee signing like Jadon Sancho. So I think we need to underrate. I think if we sign Rafinha, I think that will save a lot of money. Yeah, I know he is a rival player, but we have signed players from Leeds, Alan Smith, Eric Cantona, Rio Ferdinand. We have signed players before that. So we need to sign underrated players like that, and then only we can win the title. And we need to save some money. And I think we need to sell Martial. And people may question me on this, but I think we need to sell Martial in the regard is that Martial is not doing enough. I don't see him a way crawling back to the team because Edinson Cavani has signed a contract and Mason Greenwood is lying next to him. And how is he getting to get a place? And you may say that if Mason Greenwood shifts to the center striker forward, then who will play back up to the right wing? And I have an answer for that. If we sign Sancho or any other right wing, I think Man United will sign a right wing regardless of what they sign. Or they may also be happy with signing as a right wing only. But if we sign Sancho, then Amad Diallo will be the good backup because I think he is ready. If you clearly properly watched his movements, I think he was absolutely class. I think he's okay I think he's ready for the first team football. I think he's too good for the graduate academy football. I think under 18, under 21, what he's playing, I just don't know about that. I think he's good enough for that. I think he's good enough. If you are good enough, you're old enough. That's like Matt Busby said. So the age doesn't matter. And you were saying, you were saying that remove Martial, Lingard, Jones, and Andreas Pereira, and so on. Then the squad depth will decrease. Yeah, decrease. But we have good academy players. We have players. We can get in Elanga, Mabry, McNeil, Hugo. We can Chris Hugo. We can get those players and give them some time. And that's going to be good. And we can loan them out also. It's not necessary to put everybody in the squad only. We can take some and then loan some. No, that's going to be the tactic, and I'm desperate to win the title next season. The next season has to be our title. I cannot take it anymore seeing our rivals dominating the league. We need to be there. And since the past few weeks, I have immense trust on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I have immense faith that I got by Solskjaer that he is the man to take us forward, and I think he can do that. He can do that. So I think just he needs the backing, and without backing, no manager can succeed. That's the thing I want to say. That there's nothing more to say. I think Manchester United needs to challenge for the title, and let's just see that if we can win the Europa League, I think it will be a great season, and the tally should be above 75 points. I think it will be a good one. So thanks for watching. Please smash that like video if you did enjoy this video, and please subscribe so you don't miss a single upload, and do not forget to tune up for every video, and please show your support, and yeah, the subscriber rate is the reach is slowly increasing, and please keep that support going on, and we'll catch you next time.